Today I'm going to be reviewing the grocery delivery service, Misfits Market. This is a service that claims to have kind of ugly fruits and vegetables that may otherwise be sent to the landfill. So I've been very curious to try out this service for quite a while because I've actually been an Imperfect Foods customer for about 6 years. And for a long time, Misfits Market and Imperfect Foods were two big competitors to each other. And I've never tried out this service before, but in today's video, I tried it first time, as well as crunch some numbers and let you know if I think this service is actually worth it in regards to their money-saving claims. So let's get right into it. And just to get some disclosures out of the way, Misfits Market did send me this box for free to review. They also gave me an affiliate link that will be down in the description, and that will give you a small discount on your first order, and it also supports me. It helps me make more videos like this when you use those links. However, Misfits Market is not paying me for this review. They're not going to be reviewing any of the content before I post it, and I will be sharing both positive and negative aspects of this service in this review. And if this is not the right service for you, I completely understand. No service is right for everyone. So if that's the case, check out my playlist of food delivery service reviews that I've done. I've probably reviewed like 30 different services at this point. So check that playlist out if you want to see what else is out there. One thing I appreciate about Misfits Market is the packaging is really very minimal. There's not a ton of plastic, everything's not individually wrapped, things like that, which I think is great. There is some plastic packaging, particularly with things that come from like other brands and things like that, that's just the standard packaging. But in general, like fruits and vegetables are just kind of like free floating in the bag, which I think is great just to reduce the excess materials. That being said, I think this increases the risk a little bit that things will get damaged in the delivery. And sometimes I have had that happen, which can be a bummer. And this didn't necessarily happen on this particular delivery from Misfits Market, but this has happened to me with Imperfect Foods, which has the same packaging. Now, if you're wondering how imperfect the items from Misfits Market are, let me just tell you, there's quite a range. And on one side, there's some products on there that have absolutely nothing wrong with them at all. They're just like totally standard products. Like, for example, I ordered these Olippops from Misfits Market and Imperfect Foods. These are just like totally normal. There's nothing wrong with them. There's also some things that may be excess inventory, or there may be things that maybe the brand is updating the label and the branding and they need to offload all of the old version of the packaging. There's some stuff like that. There's also things that have more cosmetic imperfections. Like, for example, this mango here has some scarring. So that's kind of an idea of what you're gonna get. I will say 98% of the time, everything is totally fine and still usable. I would say there is a small percent of the time where it's kind of too damaged, or it's like a little bit too far beyond what I would want to eat. That does happen occasionally, but for the most part, everything is totally fine. So I was about to do a full-on comparison of Misfits Market and Imperfect Foods and kind of compare the pricing and the selection and all of that stuff. When I started to do that though, I confirmed 100% that these two sites are literally exactly the same. The pricing is exactly the same. The selection is exactly the same. The website is 99% the same except for the logo on the top corner, and like the colors are slightly different, but the website, everything is exactly the same. So if you were considering or trying to debate between Misfits Market and Imperfect Foods, honestly, no need. Just pick one of them because they are literally exactly the same. And this is no knock on them. I do use Imperfect Foods, and I did know that these companies had kind of merged in some way, but I wasn't totally sure if there was still some kind of independence between the two companies in terms of the selection, or like, I don't know, some difference other than like them being under the same umbrella, because there are lots of grocery stores that are kind of under the same umbrella. Like even like Whole Foods and Amazon technically are owned by the same parent company, but they're a very different experience between the two things. So I didn't know if that was going to be the case for these two sites, but I can confirm they're exactly the same. The good news is that did save me some time, because now I no longer have to do a full-on price comparison for Misfits Market, because I already did that in my last video for Imperfect Foods. So if you want to see my price comparison for the items I selected between between Imperfect Foods, Walmart, and Whole Foods, then you can check that out. I will link that down and below. I'll try to put it in the cards if I remember, so you can see the price comparison. But long story short, Imperfect Foods is actually more expensive than I was expecting. I was expecting, because there was kind of these ugly fruits and vegetables, it would be less expensive. I'm kind of ashamed to say that because I have been a long-time customer. I've never really investigated the prices too much. TLDR is the prices were closer to Whole Foods prices than Walmart. I wouldn't recommend this for like a super budget option, but they definitely do have some lower, kind of more affordable options as well. They also have some private label stuff that you're just not going to be able to find other places. So that's not to say you can't find affordable groceries from Misfits Market or Imperfect Foods, but if you're expecting like rock bottom prices because of the whole like ugly produce thing, you're probably gonna be disappointed. Like literally even the boxes they're using to deliver are exactly the same. Like this box says Misfits Market on one side, and then the other side says Imperfect Foods. And I had an Imperfect Foods delivery this week. They were delivered by the exact same truck. Like they literally, like I got 3 boxes on my doorstep, and I didn't know which ones were Imperfect Foods versus Misfits Market because they looked literally exactly the same. So my final thoughts is I would recommend Misfits Market because it seems really similar to Imperfect Foods, which personally I've been using for years. That being said, there's definitely some negatives, and I think the price is not as cheap as it kind of may appear at first. So there's definitely some negatives to think about, but let me know your thoughts, any other questions you have down in the comments, and until next time.